Century.
Hammer 3132 Mock, you're cleared to arm.
Zach Vaughn.
Imagine a fighter jet so advanced it can enter heavily defended Iranian airspace, strike with pinpoint precision, and vanish before enemy radar can react. In this operation, a US F-22 Raptor pilot executed a precision strike that obliterated a critical Iranian command center, leaving Iran in a state of shock. The speed and accuracy of the attack were unmatched. Once the target was confirmed, the bomb was released and the facility destroyed in less than 2 minutes. But how did the Raptor slip past layers of Iranian air defenses without a trace? The answer lies not just in the aircraft's technology, but in the significance of the target itself. This Iranian command center stood apart because of its critical role in orchestrating regional operations that directly threatened US interests and allies. It was not just a fortified structure, but the central node from which Iran coordinated military actions, including the management and deployment of proxy forces across the Middle East. Intelligence gathered through reconnaissance imagery confirmed the presence of layered air defense systems and overlapping anti-access area denial A2/AD measures, making the site a formidable challenge for any adversary. Its destruction was seen as essential to disrupting the command and control network that enabled Iran to project power beyond its borders. Over recent years, Iran's influence in the region expanded through a combination of military support, advanced weapon shipments, and operational guidance to proxy groups in Iraq, Syria, and Yemen. The command center played a pivotal role in these efforts, acting as a hub for planning logistics, storing advanced weaponry, and coordinating attacks. Intelligence linked this specific facility to recent drone and rocket strikes against US allies in Iraq and Yemen, underlining its operational significance. By targeting this site, the US aimed to sever a vital connection in the chain of hostile activities that undermined regional stability. The precise location of the command center added to its strategic value. Hidden within a heavily defended area, the facility was shielded by multiple layers of radar coverage and surface-to-air missile batteries. Iranian planners relied on radar-absorbing coatings and overlapping defense systems to create a sense of invulnerability. However, intelligence analysts detected subtle imperfections in these radar-absorbing surfaces, exposing vulnerabilities that could be exploited. This overconfidence in their defenses ultimately contributed to the center's exposure as a viable target. Surveillance and satellite feeds provided a continuous stream of data confirming the command center's status as a high-value target. Analysts observed a constant flow of military communications, weapons planning, and troop movements coordinated from the site. The integration of real-time intelligence allowed US planners to pinpoint the center's operational tempo and its direct connection to recent cross-border attacks, especially those carried out by proxy forces using drones and rockets against US-aligned assets. The evidence left little doubt about the facility's central role in Iran's military strategy. For US military decision-makers, the objective was clear: neutralize the command center with precision and speed to disrupt ongoing and future operations. Destroying the site would not only halt immediate coordination efforts, but also force Iranian forces to disperse, complicating their logistics and reducing the effectiveness of future attacks. The facility housed sensitive equipment and data critical to Iranian operations, making its loss a significant setback for Iran's ability to manage regional conflicts through centralized command. The broader implications of striking such a target extended beyond the immediate military impact. Iran had long viewed the command center as a symbol of strategic impunity, believing that its defenses and geographic positioning would deter any direct attack. The successful identification and targeting of the site challenged this perception, sending a clear message about the reach and capability of US intelligence and precision strike assets. The operation demonstrated that even the most protected assets could be reached, undermining Iran's confidence and forcing a reassessment of its security assumptions. The decision to strike did not come lightly. Military planners weighed the risks of escalation against the necessity of dismantling a key node in Iran's regional network. The timing of the operation reflected a calculated effort to disrupt Iran's ability to coordinate further attacks, especially those aimed at destabilizing US allies. By removing this command center from the equation, the US sought to impose significant operational and psychological costs on Iranian leadership, compelling them to reconsider the effectiveness of centralized control in a contested environment. The impact of this operation was felt immediately and signaled a shift in the balance of technological advantage. The ability to penetrate dense air defenses, strike with precision, and withdraw undetected required a level of capability few platforms in the world possess. This mission highlighted the convergence of intelligence, stealth, and advanced weaponry, attributes embodied by a select class of aircraft. Few platforms are designed to execute such high-stakes missions with the level of precision and near invisibility required here. The F-22 Raptor stands at the forefront of modern air combat, engineered to combine stealth, speed, and firepower for missions that demand both precision and survivability. Every aspect of its design, from the angular lines of its airframe to the specialized coatings that absorb radar energy, serves a single purpose: to evade detection and deliver decisive results. The Raptor's internal weapon bays, a defining feature, allow it to carry both AIM-120 AMRAAM missiles and GBU-32 JDAM bombs without compromising its low radar signature. This internal carriage is critical, as external mounts would increase visibility to enemy sensors and undermine the aircraft's core advantage. Before each deployment, the F-22 undergoes meticulous pre-flight stealth checks. Technicians inspect the radar-absorbing surfaces and ensure all systems are operating at peak performance. These assessments are not routine formalities. Even minor imperfections could expose the jet to detection by advanced enemy radar networks. The emphasis on readiness is a foundation of the Raptor's operational success, enabling it to slip through dense air defense environments like those found over Iran. The Raptor's supercruise capability sets it apart from previous generations of fighter aircraft. By sustaining supersonic speeds without afterburners, the F-22 minimizes its infrared signature, reducing the risk of detection by heat-seeking sensors. This feature not only conserves fuel, but also supports the aircraft's ability to move quickly through contested airspace, maintaining both stealth and tactical flexibility. In operational terms, this means the pilot can approach, strike, and exit hostile territory with a level of efficiency and discretion that few adversaries can counter. The precision strike capability of the F-22 is exemplified by its use of the GBU-32 JDAM bomb. Guided by a combination of GPS and inertial navigation, the JDAM achieves accuracy within a few meters, even against reinforced or deeply buried targets. This degree of precision is essential when striking high-value sites, such as fortified command centers, where collateral damage must be minimized. During the operation in question, the bomb was programmed with exact coordinates, ensuring a direct hit on the intended facility and preventing unintended consequences in the surrounding area. Pilot expertise is another critical factor in the F-22's effectiveness. Operating this platform requires rigorous training to integrate real-time satellite feeds and onboard sensor data under high pressure. The pilot must interpret rapidly changing information, adjust flight paths, and coordinate weapons release, all while maintaining strict radio silence and evading sophisticated air defense systems. In the Iranian mission, These skills were put to the test as the pilot navigated a covert route, synchronized the bomb release with intelligence updates, and executed the attack without triggering enemy responses. The Raptor's operational history underscores its capabilities. In military exercises, F-22s have successfully infiltrated mock enemy defenses, struck multiple targets, and returned undetected. These controlled scenarios validate the aircraft's design and provide a real-world benchmark for its performance under combat conditions. The mission over Iran was a direct extension of these proven tactics, applying them in an environment where the stakes and risks were significantly higher. Integration of advanced avionics and weapon systems allows the F-22 to operate with a high degree of autonomy. The pilot benefits from seamless data fusion, reducing cognitive load and enabling rapid, informed decisions. This integration was especially vital during the Iranian strike, where the timeline from entry to exit allowed no margin for error. The combination of stealth, speed, precision-guided munitions, and expert piloting resulted in the successful neutralization of a heavily defended target. The F-22 Raptor remains a central element of US air power, not just for its technical attributes, but for its ability to execute missions that would be prohibitively risky for other platforms. Its performance in this operation demonstrated how advanced technology, meticulous preparation, and human skill converge to achieve objectives in the most challenging environments. With the aircraft and crew prepared, the stage was set for a mission that would test every aspect of the Raptor's design and the pilot's training. The operation would begin in the early hours, far from public view, as the F-22 prepared to enter hostile airspace and carry out its objective with surgical precision. Technicians ran final stealth inspections under halogen lights as the F-22 Raptor readied for launch. The pilot received a detailed intelligence briefing, reviewing the latest satellite imagery and sensor data on the target. A fortified Iranian command center, identified as a key node for military coordination. Every detail, from the aircraft's radar-absorbing surfaces to the internal weapon bays, was checked to ensure the jet's stealth profile would hold against the region's dense air defense network. The mission stakes were clear. The destruction of this facility would disrupt Iranian military operations and send a clear strategic message. Penetrating Iranian airspace required careful navigation through a multi-layered air defense system designed to detect and deter advanced aircraft. These defenses included overlapping radar coverage and long-range anti-aircraft batteries. The F-22's stealth technology provided a critical edge. Researchers estimate the Raptor's radar cross-section is smaller than a basketball from many angles, making it extremely difficult for even the most advanced radar systems to detect. The pilot followed a pre-planned high-altitude route, leveraging the aircraft's low observable features and real-time updates from intelligence assets to avoid detection. The mission profile demanded more than just stealth. The pilot had to traverse a well-defended anti-access area denial zone, where any deviation from the planned flight path could expose the aircraft to enemy sensors. The F-22's supercruise capability became essential here, allowing the jet to maintain supersonic speeds without afterburners. This not only reduced its infrared signature, but also allowed the Raptor to cover the distance to the target quickly and efficiently. Throughout the approach, the pilot integrated live satellite feeds and drone surveillance, updating the mission plan in response to any changes in enemy posture. Weapon selection was deliberate. The GBU-32JDAM, housed in the internal bay, was chosen for its precision and reliability against hardened targets. Target coordinates, confirmed by up-to-the-minute satellite imagery, were loaded into the JDAM's guidance system. As the F-22 entered the final approach, the pilot conducted a last system check and verified that all mission parameters were current. This step was crucial to ensure the bomb would strike the intended point, minimizing the risk of collateral damage. The attack window was measured in seconds. The pilot maintained a steady, rapid approach, conscious that the margin for error was minimal. Onboard imaging systems confirmed the target, partially camouflaged, heavily guarded, and central to Iranian command operations. With a final cross-check of coordinates, the pilot released the JDAM. The bomb disengaged from the internal bay and began its silent, guided descent toward the target. From the moment of target confirmation to the JDAM's impact, less than 2 minutes elapsed. The weapon, guided by GPS and inertial navigation, struck the heart of the command center. The explosion was immediate and decisive, followed by secondary blasts as internal munitions or fuel stores ignited. The facility was neutralized in a matter of seconds, its operational value erased. The strike not only destroyed the physical structure, but also severed communications and command links essential to Iranian operations. In the moments after the explosion, ground sensors and satellite feeds picked up frantic radar sweeps as Iranian air defense crews searched for the source of the attack. The F-22, maintaining its high-altitude profile and stealth characteristics, repositioned for egress. The pilot executed a precise maneuver to exit the contested airspace, relying on updated intelligence to avoid any potential interceptors or surface-to-air threats. Iranian forces, unable to track or engage the intruder, were left scanning empty skies. The effectiveness and speed of the operation became clear in its immediate aftermath. The command center, once considered secure, had been eliminated with precision and no warning. For the F-22, the mission demonstrated the practical impact of advanced stealth, real-time intelligence integration, and precision-guided munitions. The pilot's ability to adapt to dynamic conditions and execute the strike within a narrow window underscored the platform's operational value. As the pilot began the exit maneuver, new data hinted at additional threats developing in the region. Iran's response to the destruction of its command center was immediate and multifaceted, sending ripples through its military and political leadership. State media branded the strike a reckless assault on sovereignty, issuing statements that condemned the United States and sought to project resilience. Yet beneath the official rhetoric, the loss of a vital nerve center forced a rapid reassessment of Iran's defensive posture and operational security. The obliteration of this facility represented not just a logistical setback, but a psychological blow that undermined confidence across Iran's proxy networks and within the ranks of its own armed forces. The command center functioned as the backbone of Iran's regional military coordination. Its destruction disrupted ongoing operations and left commanders scrambling to re-establish control. Intelligence intercepts captured Iranian commanders, questioning how the F-22 had bypassed their air defenses and remained undetected until the moment of impact. The speed and precision of the strike caught Iranian personnel off guard, fueling confusion and disbelief as they attempted to assess the extent of the damage and the method of delivery. This uncertainty spread quickly, eroding the sense of security that had been built around Iran's most protected installations. Morale within the Iranian military suffered an immediate blow. The event challenged long-standing assumptions about the strength of Iran's air defense systems and the invulnerability of its critical infrastructure. For those directly involved in regional operations, the loss of the command center disrupted established channels of communication and command, introducing delays and forcing reliance on less secure, improvised networks. The psychological impact extended beyond the physical loss. It introduced doubt about Iran's ability to detect and deter advanced American airstrikes, raising concerns about the safety of other strategic facilities. Publicly, Iranian officials sought to control the narrative. State media emphasized national resilience and portrayed the strike as an act of external aggression, aiming to rally domestic support and maintain unity in the face of adversity. The messaging focused on Iran's determination to defend its interests, while minimizing discussion of the vulnerabilities exposed by the attack. This propaganda campaign attempted to counteract the negative impact on morale. But the underlying sense of vulnerability was difficult to conceal, especially among military personnel and regional allies who understood the operational consequences. Iranian leaders pledged retaliation, issuing broad warnings and promising a response to the United States. However, these statements stopped short of detailing specific actions, reflecting both the shock of the loss and the need to reassess strategic options. The ambiguity in their threats suggested a recognition of the risks involved in escalating the conflict further, particularly given the demonstrated capabilities of US air power. Analysts noted that Iran's reliance on centralized command structures had been exposed as a structural weakness, prompting a re-evaluation of how future operations would be coordinated and protected. The regional impact of the strike became apparent as Iran's proxies and allies recalibrated their own strategies. The destroyed facility had served as a central hub for coordinating activities with groups in Iraq, Syria, and Yemen, including operations targeting US allies. In the aftermath, these proxy networks experienced delays and disruptions as new channels of communication were established. Analysts estimate that rebuilding a comparable node would require significant time and resources, further hindering Iran's ability to coordinate complex regional operations. This disruption extended to Iran's broader strategic ambitions, as regional partners questioned the reliability of Iranian support and the security of their own critical infrastructure. The psychological and operational shockwaves extended beyond Iran's borders. Regional actors and international observers took note of the strike's implications, recognizing the vulnerability of even the most heavily defended sites to technologically advanced precision attacks. The incident demonstrated the reach and effectiveness of US stealth capabilities, reinforcing perceptions of American military dominance in the region. For Iran, the challenge was not only to recover from the immediate loss, but also to address the broader perception of diminished deterrence and exposed vulnerabilities. As Iranian planners worked to adapt to the new reality, questions about the adequacy of their air defenses and the survivability of other high-value assets persisted. The destruction of the command center forced a reconsideration of military doctrine and defensive strategy, with implications for recruitment, retention, and overall confidence within the armed forces. The event also prompted a reassessment of regional alliances and operational practices among Iran's partners, who now face the prospect of similar vulnerabilities being exploited in future conflicts. The shock of the strike lingered, reshaping strategic calculations and prompting a period of intense reflection within Iran's leadership. The immediate aftermath left no doubt about the technological gap between Iran's defenses and the capabilities demonstrated by the F-22. This realization set the stage for broader geopolitical consequences, as the region and the world considered the message sent by such a decisive display of air superiority. The aftermath of the strike on Iran's command center brought the mission's broader geopolitical significance into sharp focus. The operation served as a calculated demonstration of US air power, projecting a message that extended far beyond the immediate tactical victory. The F-22 Raptor's ability to penetrate dense air defenses, deliver a precision strike, and exit undetected did more than eliminate a single target. It challenged the assumptions of military planners across the globe and set a new benchmark for what modern air dominance looks like. Within hours, analysts in Russia and China began to publicly debate the vulnerabilities of their own air defense systems. Defense journals noted that even Russia's S-400, widely regarded as a top-tier surface-to-air missile system, had struggled to track stealth aircraft during drills, highlighting persistent gaps in counter-stealth capabilities. The success of the F-22 underscored that even the most advanced radar networks could be outmaneuvered by a platform designed for low observability and rapid engagement. For Chinese strategists, the implications were just as clear. Investments in anti-access area denial systems and next-generation sensors might slow, but not fully deter. A stealth-enabled adversary capable of striking high-value assets without warning. The mission also reinforced the strategic value of technological superiority in shaping the balance of power. The F-22's unique combination of stealth, speed, and integrated avionics allowed it to operate independently, engaging both ground and air threats without external support. This autonomy, coupled with real-time intelligence integration, enabled the jet to adapt to evolving threats and neutralize multiple targets within a single sortie. The operation highlighted a shift in military doctrine, where precision, automation, and situational awareness now outweigh the traditional reliance on massed formations or protracted campaigns. Regional partners took careful note of the operation's implications. In the Middle East, nations like Israel and the United Arab Emirates recognized the value of deepening cooperation with the United States. The demonstration of US air power offered reassurance to allies frequently exposed to proxy threats and missile attacks. It also encouraged joint investments in advanced defense systems, intelligence sharing, and integrated early warning networks, all aimed at countering evolving threats in a rapidly changing security environment. The ripple effects extended to adversarial strategies as well. The destruction of a fortified command center by a single aircraft prompted military planners to reconsider the wisdom of centralized control nodes and static defenses. Instead, there was renewed emphasis on dispersal, redundancy, and asymmetric tactics, an acknowledgement that technological overmatch can render even the best protected sites vulnerable. The mission's success may drive adversaries to accelerate research into counter-stealth technologies, cyber warfare, and unconventional methods designed to offset US advantages. Yet, the operation also illustrated the limitations of such efforts when facing platforms that combine stealth, precision, and real-time data fusion. Historical context further frames the significance of this strike. The Gulf War introduced the world to guided munitions, fundamentally altering the way air campaigns were conducted. The F-22's performance in this latest mission represents the next step in that evolution, melding stealth and precision into a single platform capable of executing missions that once required entire strike packages. The ability of one aircraft to reshape the battlefield in minutes marks a departure from older paradigms and signals a future where technological innovation drives operational outcomes. Diplomatic consequences followed quickly. US allies viewed the operation as evidence of a continued commitment to regional security and deterrence. The strike's effectiveness reinforced confidence in American military guarantees and prompted discussions about expanding joint training and technology transfers. At the same time, adversaries faced the reality that challenging US interests would come at a high cost, with little warning and limited means of defense. The operation sent a clear warning. Technological superiority and rapid decision-making can tip the scales of conflict before traditional responses are possible. The mission's success also underscored the critical role of information dominance. By integrating live intelligence feeds directly into the F-22 systems, the US Air Force transformed data into actionable outcomes on the battlefield. This capability not only enabled the strike on the command center, but also allowed for immediate adaptation to emerging threats, such as mobile missile launchers or unexpected changes in enemy posture. The fusion of intelligence, surveillance, and precision strike assets is now central to modern warfare, and the F-22's performance exemplified this shift. If a single Raptor can reshape the power balance in minutes, what does that mean for future conflicts? The implications of this question extend into every aspect of military planning and strategic thinking, prompting a reassessment of how nations prepare for and respond to emerging threats. Stealth, speed, and precision defined the F-22 Raptor's mission. Each element proved decisive. stealth allowed the Raptor to bypass advanced air defenses undetected. Supersonic speed enabled rapid penetration and escape, minimizing exposure. Precision-guided munitions ensured the destruction of a critical command center in seconds, demonstrating how targeted strikes can shift the balance in modern warfare. Do you think stealth fighters will dominate future wars, or will counter-stealth technology catch up? Comment below with your perspective. If you found this breakdown of the F-22's game-changing strike insightful, hit like and subscribe for more deep dives on cutting-edge military tech.